Hi. I once heard Laura say the Little Patuxent Review has been good to me. Well, the Little Patuxent Review has been good to this community, of this literary community and this group of writers. And it takes a lot of people to keep this going. I thank you, each one of you, for this splendid publication. When I first heard that make-believe was the theme, I said to myself, whoa, you're in trouble because you don't have any of those kinds of poems. But then I thought I would submit this poem because I think it speaks to how poetry can blend the real with the unreal. And I also think that it's a good example of how poems, at least my poems, rarely finish the way they start, and the finished poem is usually not the idea I started with. This had its genesis in an article I read, I think, in the National Geographic many years ago about a woman who lived in Africa, and it's titled, it's really about the tough and impossible decisions that women sometimes make, and it's titled Combien, or How Much. Life and death merge in the belly of the vulture. Walking a week in Paris, I lost 2 toenails and my uterus. A woman in the third world had to kill her newborn so that her 9-month-old could nurse. Later, she painted black circles for eyes. A woman in the other world aborted a fetus when her toddler fell ill. She cried so many tears that brine crusted her vision. People ask me, is this real? No, it only happens in this poem, but even here, it costs more than expected. I want to just lighten up a little bit from that one, so I'm going to read a little bit of an older poem. This is a good example of how mishearing something or just misinterpreting something can lead to something magical. My acupuncturist said we are expecting a feather fan from owl, and she meant an owl has died by a natural death and she had made a fan of it. And I saw this gigantic 6-foot owl circling the building, fanning us with feathers. And you know, owls are related to goddesses, and that's something I'm interested in. This poem is also, I think, a really good example of how writers plagiarize their own poems, because you'll see that one of these images was in the one I just read, but it was in this one first. And this all happened on the solstice, which is magical. Solstice Mail, M-A-I-L. She said we were expecting a medicine fan from owl. I looked past Athena's wise, anemic bird, past the larger owls of Sumer, clawed like Inanna, farther even than those first open-eyed images marked with chevrons and flight, to a Kong-size owl, belly full of skulls and eggs, a one-winged gesture, every feather a finger, dripping potion like honey, coloring this shortest day, the open wing almost touching our vast and universal slot.